This video does not endorse, promote, or glorify any form of illegal or harmful activity. Hey guys, young Psychonaut here and welcome back to another tier list video. I know you guys really loved the last tier list video where instead of the substances, I put different activities into the tier list based on like how fun it was to do it baked. And today I'm basically going to do the same thing, but this is just gonna be a version of 2F-DCK. So how fun are these activities on 2F-DCK? And obviously this will translate pretty well to, I would say, ketamine as well. But I'm going to do 2F-DCK because I just have more experience with that. It's just more readily available to me. It is cheaper. Honestly, I don't like the fact that I have to go to street dealers to get ketamine. I mean, it's not often adulterated, but it can be. So for me, 2F-DCK is just easier, safer, more accessible, etc. So that is also why I have tried more of these different things on 2F-DCK than on ketamine. But I think it's pretty like transferable. Okay, I mean, there's also with 2F-DCK, which is really different from weed in the sense that it will have way more bodily effect and way more physical effect. Obviously, 2F-DCK is an anesthetizing substance, so it will reduce pain and basically all other sensations as well. So based on that, for example, we can, for example, do cycling. I would already say like C or D tier, purely based on the fact that it is a physical activity, and when you're like not having good pain perception or generally good perception in your body and doing physical activities, this is just extremely dangerous. I'm also going to make a video on harm reduction later where this point will be like one of the points, but basically if you're taking any kind of substance that reduces pain, could even like be a paracetamol, like a Tylenol or whatever, don't go working out. Like don't go cycling, especially don't do like physical based weightlifting, etc., because the chance of you fucking up your body or like not noticing when something is going wrong is extremely high. Like never work out or like do any type of these physical activities if you're like taking a substance that reduces pain. This is really important. Like you can really fuck yourself up here. So for those two, I would definitely say C and D tier. Cycling is maybe a little bit less worrying because the chance of like things going wrong is not as high, but still I would disadvise against it. Also, I haven't tried these obviously because of these reasons. Like I wouldn't try this because it's just unsafe in general, I would say. So I think martial arts can also be here. Like when you're like not having full body control, when you're not sensing your pain, this is really this is not a good idea at all. Like for martial arts, you still need the acute sense of like what is going on, how is my body reacting to what I'm doing? Because I mean, my knee injury was literally from martial arts, and I could have I wasn't on any substance back then, but if I was, that chance would have been just so much higher. So as you can see, this time I also added two new things, interacting with pets based on a comment, and also consuming cannabis, because obviously on these substances I often consume cannabis, so that will be definitely something that I'll be rating. I mean, we can just rate it right now. I would say it's S tier. I love combining 2F-DCK and cannabis. They have a very nice synergy, very similar type of body highs, especially when you're smoking indicas. I don't really have any kind of brain frying or any kind of like negative physical reaction when I combine cannabis with 2F-DCK, so I would say for me that is definitely an S tier, and the high does really like improve each other in my opinion. So for example, for eating, I would say it's gonna be like way lower than especially for the like cannabis one, because the thing is I also kind of like it reduces my taste, like my sense of taste so much that I would rather like it's not that bad eating, but it's not really fun. Like I don't really get this amazing sense of taste and sensation like when I'm just like using cannabis or using psychedelics or something like that. It does really numb my sense of taste in that sense. So eating is a little bit less like nice on 2F-DCK in my opinion. Okay, watching a movie, that's gotta be definitely S tier. I mean, honestly, watching a movie on 2F-DCK is probably my favorite thing to do on 2F-DCK. Like the thing is, I just get so sucked into the movie, even though I've watched the movie like 10, 20 times, and that's not hyperbole, I really watch movies that much. The thing is, like, I just get so much like drawn to the screen, and I just keep my gaze on the screen for such a long period of time. I can really like take in all the frames, all the different cuts, all the lighting. I love like technical aspects of movies, like shot length, lighting, like how characters are framed, etc. And if I'm on 2F-DCK, all that just becomes that much more interesting, and I just kind of get like not concentration or focus, but more of like an attention towards the movie that I really like. So I would say cooking is also, I mean, it's okay on 2F-DCK. I must say it's not that bad because your motor loss is not that bad on 2F-DCK. I would say it's a little bit better, but because you can't really taste it, it's still like not amazing, honestly. Maybe I would even move it down a little bit. Maybe I'll move them up, but like cooking, eating on 2F-DCK is just not as interesting because it's just the sensations and the experience is not as vivid, I would say. Conversate. Perfect on 2F-DCK. Like, it really does give me a little bit of a disinhibition, but not in a sense that I would do something that I don't want to do, but it gives you a disinhibition a little bit where it is easier to talk about difficult things or like about personal things, or I mean, it's just a little bit easier, in my opinion, to kind of dig a little deeper in your subconscious and get like the actual thing out instead of just like fronting. Obviously, you can still front on 2F-DCK, but in my opinion, it's just easier to kind of get out of that mindset and be a little bit more honest, especially with good friends, etc. So I would say for a party, I mean, I don't like partying too much, but for a party, it is one of the best substances, in my opinion. It is, in my opinion, the perfect combination of a little bit of disinhibition. So it kind of does help with social anxiety a little bit for me, but it is not to a point of like alcohol or benzos where you're just totally inebriated, not knowing what you're gonna do or like how you're gonna wake up the next day. Like, in my opinion, that is like the perfect party drug. It is like you make it a little bit easier to be at the party and it just feels good, but it's also like not as inebriating as some of the other party substances that people use. Also, there's almost no hangover, so that's also great for a party where you just want to go hard and not have to deal with the next day. I would say just because I don't really like partying too much, I would say A tier, but it is still a pretty good party drug, I would say. Okay, listening to music's also got to be S tier. I mean, that's basically what I do mostly on 2F-DCK, is listening to music, watching movies, and consuming cannabis. Basically every music sounds better on low doses of 2F-DCK. Honestly, the thing with higher doses of like anesthetics and disassociatives is mostly like music gets pretty muffled and like it's pretty hard to hear. Not that it can't be good, but you should like think about that. Like in my opinion, lower doses have better music appreciation when it comes to 2F-DCK. Like around 40-50 milligrams, I think it is the best music appreciation. So making music, I would say on 2F-DCK, while you're on 2F-DCK, it's pretty shit. For music production, especially if you're like producing and not only recording, like you need to be able to manage so many information flows, so many dials and knobs and parameters and EQs and all these kinds of things that honestly, I'm just too inebriated on 2F-DCK. I just have to concentrate too much to get to the point where I want to be. And again, it's the same problem with being high and making music. It's just you're not really like interpreting the music like you should. Yeah, like you always make it sound better in your head because you're like listening to it for hours and it just starts sounding good. But then when you listen back to it, it's total ass. So for me, music making is a sober thing where my performance and also the joy that I get from it is just the highest. Sober, honestly. I would say going out to eat, yeah, again, not really that good. I would even say, like, if you're gonna pay to get good food and then you're not tasting that good food fully, that's such a waste of money, such a waste of time, such a waste of 2F-DCK. That I would just not really get, because maybe you guys have amazing taste on 2F-DCK. In that case, that it will go higher, but for me the taste is just not there. So why would I spend money on something that I'm not gonna enjoy fully? Watching YouTube can be pretty good, honestly, but yeah, I would say it's pretty good. Not as good as movies or listening to music though. It's pretty fun, but the thing is with YouTube, sometimes you're just like, you watch a video and you're like 10 minutes in and you're like, this is just too much information, or like I'm not really getting this because of the 2F-DCK. So that's why I put in A tier. It's a little bit less like accessible than music or movie listening, because there's just so much to find on YouTube, and you can also just watch the wrong thing, I would say. Especially on 2F-DCK, I don't really like, my cognitive abilities are definitely stumped. Okay, social media, again, it's gotta be like a D tier. It's probably gonna be in D tier in every like in every list, so I don't even really know why I put it here, but it is a thing that people do a lot. But same points as with the cannabis video, like social media makes me just so like, it affects my mood so negatively. I get FOMO, I just compare myself to other people. It's just like, really, like, why are we so inclined to share every little detail of our lives with all these people? I don't really understand it. And quitting social media made me so much more like happy in general with my life. Not having to doom scroll, etc., just gives you so much more energy, and in general so much more like motivation to do things. Like, one of the biggest motivation killers is doom scrolling or YouTube shorts or whatever. Like, even if I do it for 5 minutes, after I'm just kind of like, whatever, I don't want to do anything anymore. And with 2F-DCK, I mean, that is even like, the confusion on social media with 2F-DCK is even higher. Also, I think it's pretty hard to read on higher doses of like dissociative. So it's just like so much hassle for something that's not gonna give you much happiness or positivity, I would say. Obviously, if you're using social media for a very, very, very specific group or connection or whatever, sure, but I don't see how 2F-DCK would be better in that case, or like being on 2F-DCK. Okay, I would say meditate is pretty good on 2F-DCK. I think 2F-DCK is perfect for meditating because it does like give you a little bit more of ego loss. It's a little bit easier to go into the meditative mind space. It's also not too inebriating, so you're not like just like totally knocking yourself out or falling asleep. Like, it's pretty chill and you still retain basically a lot of functional like cognitive processes. So I think meditating on 2F-DCK is pretty cool. I would say interacting with pets is just amazing in general, but on 2F-DCK it's also really chill. Even though your sense of touch is not really enhanced, it still enhances the whole experience because you're just like chilling more. And with my cat, he likes chilling like next to me and just like getting pets. And I don't know, it's really nice on 2F-DCK too. Okay, I would say hike outdoor, I would say not as great, because the thing is, you can hike on 2F-DCK. It's not that bad, I would say. I just don't like moving too much on 2F-DCK. Like, obviously I can just move through the house, but I won't really go on like a hike or like something where you have to expend serious energy for prolonged periods of time. I think that is just not really the vibe with 2F-DCK with me. I would just like to sit down, chill. You're already getting like motor control loss. You're already getting anesthetized. So just sitting down just seems so much more intuitive and just so much more fun, honestly. Like, going to a museum also doesn't really seem too amazing on 2F-DCK. Honestly, I don't really like being on 2F-DCK in public. I feel like you can really start to see behavioral changes with 2F-DCK. Like, you're really like slumping, or like maybe moving around a little slower, or like looking a little drugged out, I would say. So I don't really like it when I'm in public, like especially in a really chill setting like a museum. Like, it's a very quiet setting where people are really like, it's very like there's good lighting, etc. So I would say it's not amazing in my opinion. I just want to be in like a chill personal environment when I'm doing these kinds of substances. I do, however, think it's probably pretty cool to look at some art on 2F-DCK. So just like that aspect of it makes it okay, I would say. But I would say it's not really amazing. Okay, so video games. Also, same thing with weed. I just feel a little bit too like out of it to have good performance in video games, but it's also just tiring to play video games while I'm trying to relax. Like, for me, I just want to relax on 2F-DCK and have a chill time, and video games are just too straining. It's just too much cognitive work, too much like hand-eye coordination things, and just you have to put too much attention into it. It just gives me a headache. It brain fries me a little bit. I don't like to do it. Okay, I would say gardening, I've never really gardened that much on 2F-DCK, to be honest. I would say it's pretty chill. Maybe not as chill as meditating or partying, so I'll put it in B tier. But gardening, it's not really that physical in general, and yeah, it can be chill, but honestly, I don't really see. The thing is, it's just still like too much work. You're still doing work while gardening, and obviously you can just really do it in a very chill way. But in general, I mean, I just want to like chill and sit down. Like, I don't want to do work while I'm on 2F-DCK. And why is it different on weed? Because again, weed is a little bit less like disassociative, less anesthetizing. It's a little bit more like you're still physically kind of like the same almost. Ooh, and then the last one, sex. And this one is really nuanced because the thing is, very, very low dose of 2F-DCK, and I'm talking below 50 milligrams, it can be really like libido enhancing. Like I would like really get horny from that, especially in combination with cannabis. But now comes the nuance, like it like numbs your penis so quickly that if you take too much, it will just not work. You'll have like so much libido, you just want to go, and then because of the disassociation, because of the anesthetic properties, it will just like not have any feeling in your penis. You won't get it up, you won't do anything with it, it would just not work. So the thing is, yes, sex on 2F-DCK, little bit, if you can get it up, amazing. The fact that it really quickly ruins your like ability to get hard, it kind of puts it down here a little bit. So I'll just put it in A tier for now, because the feeling amazing, the actual like practical application of it, ooh, it can be pretty tricky. I've had a few times where I took too much and I just couldn't do anything in the bedroom, and it was quite annoying because you're really horny and then you can't do anything. So beware of that. That is why my final tip. Don't take too much before having sex. Okay, so yeah, this was the list. I mean, you can definitely see here that when it comes to 2F-DCK, there's a lot of things that I don't like doing on it that I would love doing on, for example, cannabis. It's just because 2F-DCK is way more like, as I said, anesthetizing, disassociative. It really does have a more physical impact on the body. So that's why, for example, all these physical activities that I love doing on weed, I would just not do on 2F-DCK. It's not worth the risk for me personally, and I would say for you it's probably also not worth the risk. So yeah, hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.